So I know a lot of people like to think that The Rock is the busiest guy in Hollywood, but I would like to throw out there that Guy Ritchie's got to be the busiest dude in Hollywood. This is like what his fourth movie in 2 years. Like this dude just keeps churning them out. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. It is the brand new film by Guy Ritchie starring Henry Cavill. It's a based on a true story type of film about the group that it supposedly inspires what will eventually become MI6. And it definitely influences or inspires the James Bond novels. Uh, so, right from the get go, going into this film, know that when they say based on a true story, I'm sure this is very loosely based on it. I'm sure a lot of the names are the same, but there's so much about this. I was like, I can believe some of it, and I'm pretty sure they're just, it's an action movie, so they gotta get carried away with some other stuff, and it's Guy Ritchie, so you just gotta kind of roll with it. So the story here is that there are the German U-boats, which have been causing a big problem in World War II for a lot of, especially the European or English forces, and that's what's preventing America or the United States from getting involved in the war. So this little ragtag group of guys, these ungentlemanly individuals, get tasked to kind of lead this covert mission. Uh, it's unsanctioned, and if they get caught, they're on their own and all that sort of stuff. We've kind of seen that story before, but this is a story about the group that eventually becomes MI6, I guess. And so they get tasked with stopping these U-boats, and they go on this mission, and it's essentially them killing Nazis for about an hour and a half. It was pretty fun. So I'm gonna just go out and say it right now. Look, this is a fun movie, and while the runtime is about 2 hours, I do feel like it was a smidge too long. It does kind of drag at the end, but along the way, you have characters like Gus March Phillips, played by Henry Cavill, who absolutely chews up pretty much every scene he's in. Everything he did was great, and you also had Alan Ritchson, who everybody might know from Reacher right now on Amazon Prime. He's great in this. And there's a slew of other people in this film that are great. Cary Elwes also has a little bit part in here. He's great. It's a fun cast. There's a lot of great stuff here. If you're into, I know like my dad's really into the killing Nazis genre. This is right up his alley, I think. As far as like the true story kind of stuff, I don't know. I think we've seen all this kind of before. It's stuff that they've kind of tread before, and I frankly did expect a little more out of Guy Ritchie for this. Not to say that I hated this at all. Like I said, I had fun with it. I just feel like this is something we've seen before, and if you know that going in, maybe you'll enjoy it a little more. But if you're expecting something totally different, something more along the lines of like Inglourious Basterds, which just seemed like it was a mix of that kind of thrown in here, but with Guy Ritchie's styling. It's kind of that, but not really. One of the other big issues with this, other than probably the how close it actually is to the true story, I don't know. But the marketing does really sell us on it being Henry Cavill, on it being this group of guys that's killing Nazis. And while that's part of it, much like Inglourious Basterds, there is this other side story with another group of people, or a couple of people, kind of doing something different on the island, and they're kind of having to deal with the Nazis in a different capacity. So there's like two different narratives kind of strung together. I know I've seen some reviews say that like the female lead here, Elia Gonzalez, who plays Marjorie Stewart, she's more of the lead. I don't know if I'd go with that. I do feel like the movie is kind of split half and half with Henry Cavill's crew and Eliza Gonzalez and her story. So, like I said, it's a balance there, and I am more interested in the Henry Cavill stuff when it's on it. But the Eliza Gonzalez stuff isn't uninteresting. It's just I don't feel like there was enough there to keep, coming back all the time, or as much time as they spent there. That's just me. It did lack a lot of the Guy Ritchie-isms that I would tend to really enjoy from one of his movies. But it's still good. I think it's well directed. Albeit just a little unbalanced for me. Um, it's a good time if you're looking for something to check out. Uh, and you're looking for something action. I think it's got a little more action to it than stuff I've seen recently, like Monkey Man and Civil War. I think there's a little more there to please action fans. So there's that. At the end of the day, I am giving this film a B minus. It's not, like I said, not that this is bad, and it just lacks in a lot of the typical departments I think that Guy Ritchie nearly delivers on usually. So a lot of good performances, though. I think the acting in this is pretty fun, pretty great. They get a good solid cast here. So if you get a chance to check this out, I say go for it. What do you guys think? Have you gone to see The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you could, please hit that like button, subscribe button, the little bell notification to be notified whenever I drop new videos. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, it's been a long weekend. I've been out of town, so I'm catching up on the reviews. I'm about to do a Rebel Moon Part 2 review. And then, of course, we're going to have a podcast this week as well. So I'll be doing that tomorrow or Monday. It should be recorded and go up. So we'll see about that. And until then, guys, I'll be seeing you.